Texas and Texas A&M last night was the rivalry that everybody wanted to come back. Joe, it's here. The Lone Star State had them a hell of a time. Your thoughts on Texas and Texas A&M?
This game was really boring to watch. First of all, I'm going to put that out there. Texas A&M
was awesome. You don't like defensive struggles?
No, I do. It just neither team could finish drives. It was like get the ball down the field and then it would just peter out. Texas A&M had a lot of opportunities to get back into this game and couldn't finish. Texas's defense was really impressive and I think showed us a lot of good things because they needed to really smother Marcel Reed to prevent him from breaking out, and they did that. I got to come back to, and I think this is a legitimate concern, I can't get behind Quinn Ewers playing in a playoff game. The turnovers are way too costly. You're doing that
up to me.
No, I mean I've always agreed with you, but this is the fullest fruition of that because if you play a team that's got a little bit more depth and a slightly better secondary, which isn't asking for a whole lot to say that, you're not going to win. If Quinn has those 2 red zone turnovers, you will lose those games just like you did against Georgia. I'm not picking you in the SEC championship game. And I know that Texas fans are going to feel confident going into that, but the turnovers for him outweigh all of the other impressive things about this team.
When I look at Texas and Texas A&M, Joe, went exactly how I thought it was going to go. In the beginning of that preview, I told you to bet the under. I just felt that this was going to be a slobber knocker, man. Just nothing. There's no logic. I don't see either team scoring big points. And look, man, A&M offensively got physically dominated. Physically. I mean, you can say that, yeah, we got down the red zone a lot. Man, you can't line up and run the ball in crucial moments. Joe, they had a 4th and 1 to start off the game, and the way that it basically ended was them trying to line up 4 straight times and run the football into the end zone. They couldn't convert. One team is better than you, and there's no other way to figure that out than getting at the goal line and then you needing to get 1 yard to find out who ultimately who has the better men. That is what a rivalry game is supposed to be about. I found it. I found it at Ohio State and Michigan too, and I found it with A&M and Texas A&M too. Joe, the early 4th down call where they don't get it and they don't get the points, I think is critical. The goal line stand, they don't get it. I mean, that is ultimately the game. Now, I see a lot of people fading on Marcel Reed today, and I'm like, the kid is a true freshman, man. Not a true freshman, a redshirted freshman. It's his first time starting. This is a lot to ask from this young man. But, man, you let a Texas team who couldn't run the ball on Vandy, could not line up and run the ball on Vandy. That O-line lined up and whipped your ass. We keep talking about this great A&M D-line. Well, you know what? The last month, you've been physically abused. You got physically abused by South Carolina. You got physically abused by Texas. And here's the God's honest truth. Your culture that you built after the LSU win is gone. All the hype and momentum you had is gone. New year, same A&M. New year, same A&M. They could not build off of it. Now, it's tough because you say Elko's in year 1. I get all of that. But for this specific team, that's how people are going to say the way that you look. I'm with you on Quinn Ewers, bro. They are playing the wrong quarterback. They're playing the wrong quarterback here.
They need to play Arch. They want to. I mean, we've gotten to this point where he comes. I just think that when he comes into the game, there's just a tangibly.
Did you see his sideline? Did you see when he scored? Did you see his teammates?
Yeah.
Bro. You had Joe, whether you and people that are watching this, either you've played high school, collegiate, or maybe some of you played professionally. All of us who have been in that, we all know this. When you see defensive players getting up from a team meeting because a backup quarterback scored, who do you think that they wanted to lead them? Who do you?
Right.
I mean, that is as apparent as come to be. And Quinn Ewers is the reason why I'm picking Georgia to win the SEC championship. Throwing it out there now before we get out there.
Yeah, not much to add to that, but I agree like 1,000%. And a lot of people think that we're like super anti-Texas on the show. It's not the case. There's one player that has made mistakes and has been problematic and has been so shaky and inconsistent that will cost you in the playoff and will cost you in the SEC championship game.
It cost you last year.
And it also cost you this year against Georgia already.
They're mad at me because I said before their playoff run, over the decade before, so 2 years ago when we had this take, the 10 years prior to that, A&M had been a better overall school than you had. From just wins alone and in the SEC alone. It wasn't debatable, okay? They came into the SEC. They've been rebuilt by Sark, and they're dominating dudes. That's the bottom line. Joe, they had a weakness. And you know what? They said, we're going to fix that weakness against our biggest rival.
BetOnline remains your top spot for all of your live betting action and contests. NFL, college football, UFC, NHL are all in full swing. BetOnline is your number one source for wagering news, odds, trends, and predictions with both desktop and mobile access at any time. Head to BetOnline today and use promo code BELIEVE, that's BLEAV, for 50% off your first deposit. That is a 50% welcome bonus. BetOnline, where the game starts.